There is a movie from 1979 called Apocalypse Now. It's a Vietnam War movie that kind of swept the nation and was huge after the Vietnam War became a big thing in the 60s and 70s. And it was in 1979, like I was saying, that Apocalypse Now surfaced and was a big war movie that was important to everyone that was fascinated with the Vietnam War. And I think you can imagine how many different films came out about the Vietnam War, and they were all important to people. Another one is The Deer Hunter. That's a movie with Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken. That's a great movie. That's a Vietnam movie. It's really intense. And it's another amazing Vietnam War movie that you've got to see, The Deer Hunter. And of course, if you haven't seen Apocalypse Now, you've got to see that too, because that's an important part of history in these types of movies. So if you haven't seen Apocalypse Now or The Deer Hunter, I would recommend both of them. The Deer Hunter is with Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken, as I was saying. And Apocalypse Now is with Martin Sheen and Marlon Brando. And, there were other important characters in the movie that were played by other people. So it really had a great cast, Apocalypse Now. And it's an important movie to see if you're into these Vietnam War movies. And I would recommend The Deer Hunter too, because if you want to see two good Vietnam War movies, you really need to see Apocalypse Now and The Deer Hunter, because these are two movies that really blew people out of their seats, brought them to the edge of their seats, and made them excited and suspenseful and thrilled in that era with the pronunciation of Vietnam in history, really making a dent in history and really being a part of our day and age and our times in the 20th century, in the 1900s. And now that we're in the 21st century, we can't forget what went on last century and what happened towards the end of last century in the 60s and 70s. It would be foolish for us to forget what happened in history back then and to miss out on those times nowadays when we have these movies to recollect on and to watch and be a part of everything that happened back then, because it really puts us in perspective right now as a country, as a free country, and an important part of civilization in the world, the United States of America is a beautiful country and is really an important part of history in world news and world history. The United States of America is surely pronounced and important to the world. So let's not forget that, and let's make sense of other countries too, and other continents like Europe, continents in the countries in the Caribbean. There's Antarctica, there's Africa, and America, and there's just a lot to the world. There's a lot out there that's important to see, or at least important to know about if you're not going to go there, because we traveling may not be that easy to do right now or that important to do right now if you're fearing for your safety anywhere, because all over the world you've really got to watch your back and be aware of your surroundings to participate in daily activities, and you have to know what's going on around you to really be a part of what's going on a day-to-day basis everywhere you go, even in the United States and all over the world. You don't want to wind up in a place that's not where you want to be because you didn't know what it was like there, so you just land there and all of a sudden you're in a bad situation. You've got to really investigate and research the land that you're going to in order to know what's going on there before you even get there, or you'll have no clue what to expect in some other territory. It could be in the United States, or it could be some other country. You need to investigate. You need to talk to people within that territory and in that land and find out what it's like there, and just get an idea of what people are like there and what they're going through, and know what to expect before you go to some place. Talk to as many people as you can everywhere you're going and everywhere you go, and you'll be a lot better off when you arrive at your destination.